Hi everybody, it's me Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your 30-minute express mind-body connection. So today we're going to start off at the back of our mats, enjoying some child's pose. We're going to warm our bodies up with a little sun salutation A, which we've practiced before if you've joined class. And then we're going to do a little bit of a balance challenge. So I recommend that you bring a block, and if you don't have a block, if you have a nice hard-covered thick book that you can use to balance on the floor, absolutely bring it. Even if you can easily reach the floor and you have a prop you can use, bring that prop just so you can try your best. We're going to start in 3 minutes at 12:15. Pardon me, feeling a little under the weather today, but as always, we're just here to do the best that we can with the bodies that we have today. Whatever your best looks like, it is absolutely enough. I do encourage you to get some water. Take a couple sips of water before we even get started. If you're here early, find the stretch that feels good for you. Okay. Computer, you're being very slow. Well, hello, welcome everybody. My name's Jessica. Thanks for coming. I'm the health fitness program manager from McLean. Take a quick sip of your water or tea. I promise that's peppermint tea. And let's go ahead and get started. So hopefully you checked out the description, or you've been here since the recording started, and you found yourself a block. You have a block nearby, close to the top of your mat, whichever side you think is the top. Let's go ahead and come on down, get started with our breath in child's pose. So feel free to open your knees as wide as feels comfortable for you. Bring those big toes together and start to sink your hips back towards your heels. Relax your head down. Between your arms and onto the floor, and start to use your breath to take the tension out of your shoulders, applying a little bit of pressure of your forehead, of your drishti, your third eye, your focus onto the mat. If it does not honor your body to keep your arms forward and engaged, remember
You can take it a little bit easier on yourself by bending your elbows or bringing them even closer, or even reaching your hands all the way towards the back of the mat. Take a moment, find what feels good for you. And we'll spend at least one more minute right here just coming into our breath, into our mind's eye, encouraging ourselves to be present in this moment as we take and create this space both physically and mentally for our practice. Continue to keep your breath slow and intentional, perhaps even practicing some ujjayi breathing, a slight constriction of the throat by pressing the top of your tongue onto the roof of your mouth, right behind your teeth. Coming into the last of the child's pose here during our just focused breath warm up. Perhaps if you have your hands extended, press into them a little bit and use your exhale to sink your hips a little closer towards your heels to start to create more of a noticeable stretch through the lower half of your body. On your next inhale, I want you to start to walk your hands in closer. If they were far away, start to lift yourself up. Might even want to take a moment, come up into tabletop. Give yourself a couple cat-cows. Shake out any noticeable tension. Maybe find a big stretch on your belly. Just listen to your body and see how it feels, and if you can tune into the stretches that feel right at the moment. All right. Hopefully you know a little bit about what feels good for your body, but if practice is new to you, don't worry, we're gonna move through some things together slowly. I encourage you to just take your time, move with your breath, and as always, if I don't say it enough, just do what your body can today and be accepting of whatever that may be and release the expectation and just enjoy the moment. Let's go ahead, walk your legs together, and we're gonna sit down in kneeling. If it really is uncomfortable for you to kneel all the way down, you might want to lift yourself up onto your knees. But I encourage you to try to take this little bit of a hinge back, even if you're still gently lifted, if you're not released all the way down. Take a moment, let's just roll those shoulders out, and while we're rolling our shoulders out, notice if you brought an overarch to your back. I noticed really quickly as soon as we started to roll our shoulders that I was emphasizing the arch in my back, so I use my inhale to tuck my hips under gently and stack my body as much as possible, working to create some length through the spine of the head. Change the direction of your shoulder circles. Oof. Really work to squeeze those shoulder blades together. As they come to the back, take a little more engagement of your lower belly, a focused draw in and a press of the tops of the feet into the floor. All right, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Find that stacking of your head over your heart, of your shoulders over your hips. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest. We're gonna go 4 times through with sun salutation A. So we'll start off really slow. First time through, I'll just remind you, A, to breathe, and B, to do your best to match your breath up with the movement. And then the next 3 times through, we'll just move a little bit faster. Do the best you can. All right. So our bellies are pulled in tight, shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Find a spot to focus your eyes forward. Keep that eye gaze forward. Start to press into your knees. Lift yourself up into kneeling as you extend your arms up overhead and lift your chin. So we're coming into a little mini back bend. Here you want to squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward, and you can explore the range of motion you have, but we're only moving within one breath. So I'm not expecting a full camel here. However, some people might feel good really using that inhale to lift your chest, sternum, and reach your hands back gently. Your eyes follow your fingertips. On our exhale, we're carefully with bellies pulled in, going to rain our fingers down towards the floor, walk them forward gently, and come into an extended child's pose. So work to find a release and stretch your hips back as much as you can. On your inhale, you're going to drag your hands gently back in underneath of your chest and shoulders. Press into your hands, palms, press into your knees, and come into cat. So your eyes are looking at your knees. Then you're going to tuck your toes under. Exhale, send your hips up towards the ceiling, still looking towards the toes. As you shift your biceps closer towards your ears and bring your belly towards your thighs, and you can bend your knees generously as you come into down dog. Then we're going to gently bring it back forward and come into cat again. So bringing your knees back down towards the floor, untuck your toes, tops of the feet onto the mat, chin tucks towards chest, look towards the back for cat. On your inhale and exhale, hands come forward and you're in either child's pose, or maybe you're in a little bit more of a version of melting hearts pose. It's okay if your hips stay closer to stacking on top of your knees. On your inhale, as you drag those hands in, you really draw your core in tight. Stretch back up, lift from your chest, sternum, and your waist to look up towards the ceiling. Find your little mini back bend. And then on your exhale, restack your head over your heart and sit yourself back down in kneeling where we started. Let's take 3 to 5 breaths right here in kneeling. Just let that sink in a little bit. If that was challenging for you, take this time to come back to your natural breath. I'm going to take this time to be a winner and tuck my shirt in like a winner. Like a yoga winner. Okay. Great. But you know what? Half of yoga is letting it go. And honestly, I hate tucking my shirt in. I think it looks real dorky, drives me a little crazy. But I guess part of my home practice these days is letting it go. Because really it doesn't matter what we're wearing. It doesn't matter how awesome or not awesome your outfit is. It's really just about focusing on your breath and finding some movement and making sure you're wearing clothes that are comfortable so you can do that. So hopefully we're all doing that, whether your shirt's tucked in or not. Let's go ahead and bring in those next 3 rounds of sun salutationing. So go ahead, bring your hands, palms together at the center of your chest in Namaskar. Make sure that there's not any extra in your chin or in your neck. Draw your belly in, tuck your hips under for that flat back. And let's begin. Inhale, belly tight, press into your knees, look up, lift up, exhale, keep your stomach sucked in. Rain forward, coming into either puppy or extended child's pose. Inhale. Press into your hands, palms, find that arching of your back, come into cat, tuck your toes, exhale. Send your belly towards your thighs for down dog. Inhale. Take the full length of that inhale as you come into this big cat, and then exhale. Start to walk your hands forward, send your hips back into child's pose. Inhale. Lift yourself up, challenge those abs, release shoulders from your ears. Look up, exhale. Sit yourself down, back into kneeling. 2 more times. So we're going to use about 5 seconds. 5 seconds is the length of your breath. That's what I'm speaking towards. I hope you can join me. We're going to flow through the next 2 rounds, no breaks. Inhale. Look up, lift up. Press your hips forward, glutes squeezed. Exhale. Belly tight, rain down, come into your extended child's pose or puppy. Inhale. Draw those hands in, separate your shoulders, come into cat, tuck your toes. Exhale. Belly towards your thighs, find yourself in down dog. Inhale. Slowly, gently release yourself back down into cat. Untuck your toes. Exhale. Shift your hips back. Walk those hands forward. Belly inhale. Hips forward. Press into your shins, into your knees. Shoulders away from ears. Exhale. Sit yourself down. Find yourself in kneeling. Belly tight. Inhale. Press hips forward. Look up. Lift up. Exhale. Take your time, rain down with control. Walk your hands forward into your child's pose. Inhale, press into your hands, palms, round through the back. Tuck your toes, we're in cat. Then exhale, send your hips up, belly to thighs. Remember, knees can be bent as you are in down dog. Inhale, carefully lower those knees down. Once they're there, untuck your toes. Emphasize the cat. Exhale. Walk your hands forward, shift your hips back, take a moment. Last time in child's pose, inhale. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward, belly tight, release shoulders from your ears, look up, lift up, exhale. Sit yourself down, chin neutral to the chest. Find ourselves in this kneeling once more. You can relax your hands down to your lap, just take a moment, shake those shoulders out. We're going to open our hips gently, and then we're going to come into a nice little mini flow and challenge our balance. All right, so starting in tabletop, we're going to bring that right foot forward. You can walk that right leg forward even more. So if you need to, if you're really tight, you can always stay in tabletop, but if it's accessible to walk forward, to wiggle forward, to shift those hips forward, you can enjoy a little bit more opening. It's okay if that right knee falls out towards the side. Let's challenge ourselves a little bit more by tucking the back toe under and pressing ourselves up. So now you're going to stretch through that back heel. You feel the stretch even more through that left hip. Keep your left hand down on the floor and inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. So I'm already challenging your balance here. If you're really struggling, you can release that back knee down towards the floor. You can stay a little bit more active by keeping that back toe tucked, or you can release it back down for more grounding. Bring the focus to the shoulders. Really work to stretch that left arm up towards the ceiling. Right arm up towards the ceiling to have two shoulders stacked, and make sure you're still taking this shift forward of your hip to find the opening through the left side. Take one more inhale, and on your exhale, release your left hand down. Let's go ahead and walk it back. Find a big stretch on the hamstring. Do your best to send your hips back in line so that your left glute is still coming towards your left heel, especially if it's directly behind you, that you're not shifting towards the side of the mat, and that might limit how far you can go back by keeping yourself going in this straight line as opposed to shifting the weight. If you want to bring more stretch to the back of your leg, press your heel into the floor, flex your toes to your face. You can always lift yourself up, bring your hands to the waist, make it a little bit easier. You can stay down as we were, even finding some extra rounding in your back. Maybe even use that exhale to sit back a little bit more, increase the stretch. Just finding what works for your body today. Remember, every day is different, each side of our body is different, and we're not having any expectation or judgment. Great, we're gonna walk those hands back forward. One more time, coming into this big hip opener on this side. Work to release your shoulders from your ears. This is another great time if your prop is nearby and the floor feels far away and you find that you're really crunching and hunching down to the floor. If you're bringing a lot of rounding to your lower back, I want you to use your prop to find a little bit more length and lift. One more big inhale, and on your exhale, come on back into tabletop. So take your time, even if you have to gently wiggle your foot the whole way back. You're gonna get it there. Great. Give yourself another little shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your cat and cow's tail. All right, let's get the other side. So take your time as you bring the opposite foot forward, bringing that left foot forward this time. Either staying right here in tabletop, feeling more of a stretch in the glute and hamstring, just if you're really tight. Can always use your block. Or walking it forward, bringing more of a stretch to open up the right hip this time if you have that left foot forward. Option as always, lift yourself up, take that crunching out of the lower back. Or lift yourself up all the way in case you hadn't thought of it. All right, we're gonna challenge ourselves again here to tuck that back toes under to find that lift. If you did lift that back knee up, press through the heel. Remember, you can always put it back down the mat. Release your right hand down to the floor and inhale your left arm up. Working to stack your shoulders one on top of the other. Working to keep that front leg knee stacked on top of the ankle or the arch of your foot. Oh, it feels so big. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release your hand down towards the floor. Release that back knee down if it was lifted. Let's go ahead, shift the weight. Get that big hamstring opener. Remember, you can lift yourself up or you can stay down and round. Press your heel into the floor. Flex your toes back to the face. Use your breath to come into the stretch as deeply as feels appropriate for you. Sending those hips back in a straight line, glute in line with your heel. Take one more inhale. And then exhale. Let's go ahead, shift it forward. Once more in our hip opener. Releasing shoulders away from your ears, focusing this time on a little bit more length. Great, let's go ahead, tuck that back toe under, lift it up, and then we're gonna step our feet together. So bring that back foot to the front. Take a moment here in your dangle. You can take a generous bend to your knees. And then slowly, gently roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. At the top, release shoulders away from ears. Take a moment right here in mountain pose with your feet ground to the floor. Make sure there's not any extra arching of that back. So again, still squeezing your glutes forward. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water. Mine's like right in front of me. Oh, I forgot my shirt was tucked in. Mine's right in front of me and it looks really tempting. So I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water. Just a quick little sip though, because we are still going to enjoy some inversions, and I want y'all to feel good. All right, so we opened up those hips, heel, toes, side by side. Take a deep inhale, bring your arms up overhead sideways. You can either hinge forward or swan dive down to the floor on your exhale. Inhale up into a half lift. Exhale, relax and release your head down towards the floor. Step your right leg back. Plant the ball of the foot into the floor, bend the left knee and inhale. Bring yourself up into warrior one. Make sure that you are bringing that right hip forward and that there is a bend in the front knee. We're gonna open up to warrior two, so the right hand's gonna come to the back of the room as we shift our weight. Notice if your shoulders came up towards your ears, really relax them. Sometimes even turning your hands, palms up towards the ceiling for a moment can help you open your chest and shoulders, and then you can release it back down. Take a deep inhale on your exhale, turn your head towards the top of the mat. Use your next inhale to find some big length. In your exhale, we're going to hinge forward as much as possible. And then release the left hand down towards the floor. If you can't quite touch the floor, you can use your block. Coming down with a nice bent leg to begin with. Where are we going from here? Awesome. Next up, we're going to come into warrior three. So we're going to shift the weight into our front leg. You might even want to bring your prop forward. It's okay to have a slight bend in that front leg. I'm a little close to the cabinet here. Remember, it's normal if you're going to wiggle, if you're going to wobble. Whoa, but if you do fall out of the posture, just do your best to come back in. Awesome. Release your right hand down towards the floor. Relax your right foot down towards the floor. Walk those hands in just a little bit closer. We find ourselves once again in this forward fold. You can bend one knee and then the other to continue to find some release throughout the glutes and the hamstrings, and then come back into your stillness and gently roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. And exhale, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Let's get the opposite side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, either rain down forward to the mat or swan dive down. Inhale, come into a half lift, so flat back, shoulders away from your ears. And exhale, release yourself down to the floor once more. This time, opposite leg steps back. I think I'm doing my opposite leg. Great. Press into that ball of the foot and press into the front heel. Pull your belly in tight and then inhale. Lift yourself up, coming into warrior one or crescent warrior. You don't have to have that back heel on the floor. We're going to open up to warrior two. So this time the same arm as the leg that's behind you is going to turn like the arms of a clock. Remember, if your shoulders creeped up towards your ears, take a moment, hands, palms up towards the ceiling, and then turn your hands, palms back over. Find that generous bend in your front leg, maybe bounce and bounce and bounce a couple times. And really think about squeezing your back leg glute and keeping your hips squared to the long part of the mat. We're going to use an inhale to find some length and an exhale to hinge forward as much as you can. One more inhale and then exhale. Relax and release that hand down towards the floor. Keeping that bend in our knee for this triangle. Kind of like an extended side angle triangle with open arms. Work to stack those shoulders one on top of the other. Next up, we're going to come into warrior three. So prepare to use that block if you want to, or hand on the floor. You can walk that opposite leg forward. And find a little balance here. Keeping your eyes down on the floor is pretty easy. If you can turn and look up towards your hand palm, it's a little bit more challenging. Go ahead, take one more big inhale. On your exhale, release your hand back down towards the floor. Big inhale, stretch your leg up for a little half split. And then exhale, relax that leg down towards the floor, 2 feet side by side. Feel free to bend one knee and then the other. Find that movement in your hip. Awesome. We're slowly, gently going to roll ourselves back up. At the top, inhale those arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands, palms down to your chest. Take a moment here in mountain. We're going to do pretty much the same thing. We're just going to change what's happening in warrior three at the end. This time we're going to add a twist, and then we're going to finish by doing a posture called sugar cane. All right, so inhale, arms stretch up overhead, belly tight, either rain or swan dive down towards the floor. Remember, you can bend your knees, inhale into a half lift, flat back, find some length, and exhale, release yourself down towards the floor. Plant those hands and step your right leg back. Inhale, come on up into warrior one. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Inhale, find your length, reach forward. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor or towards the block. Look up towards the ceiling. Next, we're going to walk that hand forward, and lift that back leg up off of the floor, coming into our warrior three. We're going to find a twist this time. So exhale, release your right hand down towards the floor, and inhale, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Take 2 more breaths right here. And then exhale, release your left hand down towards the floor. Inhale, stretch your right toes up towards the ceiling. Find an extra half split. And then exhale, 2 feet side by side. Take your time. Inhale as you gently roll yourself up. And exhale, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Other side, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor or rain. Inhale, half lift. Find that length, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your opposite leg back, left foot back. Lift yourself up into warrior one or crescent warrior. Exhale, open up to the side, release shoulders from your ears, and look over your hand palm. Inhale, find length and reach forward as much as you can. Still weighting your front heel. Exhale, release that hand palm down towards the floor or your mat. Use your next inhale to crawl your fingers forward, walk your toe forward, coming back into warrior three, the best that you can. And let's find the twist. So exhale your left hand down towards the floor. Inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. Take 2 breaths. And then exhale, right hand down towards the floor. Inhale, find that deeper split. Bring your 2 feet together on your exhale and slowly, gently roll yourself up. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands, palms down at your chest. Last time through, y'all. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, right or swan dive down to the floor. Inhale into a half lift. Find that flat back, stretch through your glutes, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your right leg back, lift up into warrior one. Hips come forward. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Inhale, find your length, and exhale, come on down into your triangle. Inhale, walk your hand forward. Coming into warrior three. Might really want to use a prop this time. We're going to go ahead and bend that back knee in and grab hold of the top of your foot. And then slowly, gently begin to extend your knee towards the end of the mat, coming into a little back bend here, like a sugar cane. Or just do your best. Finding a little bit of a back bend in our warrior three. Take one more inhale. And exhale carefully. Release that leg, stretch it back out. Down towards the floor. Inhale, slowly, gently roll yourself up. Oh, let's go ahead, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, rain down to the floor once more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left leg back. And bring yourself up into a warrior one or crescent warrior. Exhale, open yourself into warrior two. Take a big inhale, find your length. And then exhale, come on into your triangle. Inhale, walk your fingers forward, come into warrior three. Remember, you might want to use a prop. Go ahead, bend your leg. You can even draw your knee in towards your chest to work to grab hold of the top of the foot, and you can take a bend in your standing leg. Better to bend, oh my gosh, than to lock out the knee. And then you're just working from here to find that same length you had in warrior one. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling tight on this side. So length from the spine and stretching that knee down towards the end of the mat. Go ahead, give it one more try. Remember, if you fall out, all you do is get right back in. Thank you, garden people. Awesome. Take your time, gently release. Relax your hands back to the floor. Find that deep split. Relax your left foot down to the floor. Go ahead once more, just shake your hips, move your hips, bend one knee and then the other, keeping your feet on the floor. And then slowly, gently, I want you to roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Take a deep inhale, bring those arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your hands, palms down to the center of your chest. Great, so I hope that you enjoyed today's express class where we focused on a little bit of balance. I do encourage you to take some time to just sit in stillness now that class is over, either laying down in Savasana or maybe sitting down in round angle just to get a little bit more stretching. Take the time to allow your heart rate to come down. Always something you can do at your desk, but if you have a little bit more you time to focus on yourself, to focus on your breath, to enjoy your day, then I hope that you will take it. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we did today, please reach out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until you see me again, continue to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds, and all the things it takes to nourish ourselves from the inside out. Namaste.